Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us in this session of Spokane Public Schools Keep Learning series for mathematics. Today's lesson is for students in grade 5, but all of you are welcome to join in. My name is Mrs. Henshin, and I'm a 5th grade teacher at Logan Elementary in Spokane Public Schools, and I will be your teacher for this lesson. I'm so glad you are participating with me today. You can access previous lessons on the KSPS website, and if you would like additional activities, you can go to Spokane Schools Learning at Home website. Sometimes it is helpful to go back and watch the other lessons in our series so you can continue to build your understanding of the mathematics we will be doing together. For today's lesson, you are going to need something to write on and something to write with. So go ahead, take a second to gather those supplies right now. Great, let's get started. Today's learning target is I am learning to divide with decimals. Let's start with a quick place value review. The top portion is going to help us fill out the bottom. In 2012, the estimated population of Chicago, Illinois was 2,714,856. The chart below shows 4 different ways to write this number. We have standard form, word form, expanded form, and exponential form. So for word form, we're just writing out the number the way we say it. Okay, 2,714,856. Notice I didn't say 856, 856. I just said 856. Does anyone know why I leave out that and? Think about it for a second. I leave out the and because it can get confusing when you start talking about decimals. You might say 856 and 7/10 and 50 hundredths, whatever. But when we have a decimal point, that's when we say and. If you put it in here, it gets really confusing. Okay, let's check out the expanded form. Right here it says 2 times 1 million. 2 times 1 million is because the 2 is in the millions place, and 2 times 1 million is 2 million. Okay, plus 7 times 100,000. Again, 7 is in the hundred thousands place. And you just keep going down from there. Plus 1 times 10,000, plus 4 times 1,000, plus 8 times 100, plus 5 times 10, plus 6 times 1. And then for the exponential form, we have 2 times 10 to the 6th power. Why 10 to the 6th power? Because 10 to the 6th power is 1 million. It's like saying 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. That's 1 million. Plus 7 times 10 to the 5th power, plus 1 times 10 to the 4th power, plus 4 times 10 to the 3rd power, plus 8 times 10 to the 2nd power, plus 5 times 10 to the 1st power, plus 6 times 10 to the 0 power. Okay, so you're going to use the information shown above to help write the 2012 estimated population of Los Angeles, California in word, expanded, and exponential form. Now the standard form is already written there for you, but I'm not going to read it out loud because I want to see if you can do this word form all on your own. Okay, take some time and do that now. Then we'll come back together and check our answers. Go ahead. How are you doing? Okay, let's look at the word form. 3,857,799. How'd you do? Okay, expanded form. 3 times 1 million, 3 is in the millions place. 8 times 100,000, 8 is in the hundred thousands place. 5 times 10,000, because 5 is in the 10,000s place. Plus 7 times 1,000, because 7 is in the thousands place. Plus 7 times 100, because 7 is in the hundreds place. Plus 9 times 10, because you see 9 in the tens place. Plus 9 times 1, because you see 9 in the ones place. Okay, how about exponential form? We have 3 times 10 to the 6th power, plus 8 times 10 to the 5th power, plus 5 times 10 to the 4th power, plus 7 times 10 to the 3rd power, plus 9 times 10 to the 1st power, plus 9 times 10 to the 0 power. All right, check those answers, see how you did. If you need to, go back and try it again. Here we go. We're going to start off with our first application problem. And before we go to decimals, let's do some of the work with whole numbers. Alfonso's company sells t-shirts to soccer teams. Each t-shirt costs $10. If you spent $1,030, how many shirts could you buy? Now you can see the expression is already down here for you. 1,030 divided by 10. Go ahead and solve that problem right now. Okay, so you should have 1,030 divided by 10 equals 103 shirts. 103 shirts Alfonso can buy with $1,030. Okay, so now we're going to fill out this whole table. We'll just do it one row at a time. It says fill out the table below to show how many t-shirts you could buy with different amounts of money. So with $10, the equation would be 10 divided by 10 equals 1, so you could buy one shirt. And with $20, that's 20 divided by 10 equals 2, so you could buy 2 shirts. Go ahead and try it out if you had $100. Okay, so you should have 100 divided by 10 equals 10. So you could buy 10 shirts if you had $100. How about if you had $200? Go ahead. Okay, so the equation you should have is 200 divided by 10 equals 20, and you'd be able to buy 20 shirts, of course. Okay, what about this one? $450. If you have $450 and each t-shirt costs $10, how many shirts can you buy? Go ahead, try it out. Here's what you should have. 450 divided by 10 equals 45, so you could buy 45 shirts. What about if you have $3,210? Go ahead, give this one a shot. All right, you should have 3,210 divided by 10 equals 321. You could buy 321 t-shirts. Final one, 1,020. You have $1,020. How are you going to solve this one? Go ahead. Okay, that's 1,020 divided by 10 equals 102. You could buy 102 t-shirts. Now, what do you notice about dividing by 10? Okay, so as part of your assignment for this lesson, I want you to jot that reflection question down. What do you notice about dividing by 10? And this will be included in today's assignment. I'll give you some time to write that down right now. Okay, let's look at the next problem. Amelia feeds her pet lizard crickets. The pet store sells crickets for 10 cents each. If Amelia spent $1.30 on crickets last week, how many crickets did she buy? First, you'll need to write an expression to match the problem, and then go ahead and solve. Don't forget to label your answer. Go ahead, try it now. Okay, here's the expression. 1 and 30 hundredths divided by 10 hundredths, or you can think of it as money, $1.30 divided by 10 cents, right? So how many dimes are there if you have $1.30? Well, in $1, how many dimes? In $1, there are 10 dimes, and then in 30 cents, there'd be 3 dimes. So 10 dimes plus 3 dimes, that's 13 dimes. So 1 and 30 hundredths divided by 10 hundredths, that's 13 crickets that Amelia bought that week. Okay, now we're ready to move to the chart. It says fill out the table below to show how much it would cost to buy different quantities of crickets. So The first two are done for us. If we spent 10 cents, the total cost was 10 cents, then the decimal equation is 10 hundredths divided by 10 hundredths equals 1, or the fraction equation, 1/10 divided by 1/10 equals 1. So you were able to buy one cricket. And with 20 cents, then the decimal equation is 20 hundredths divided by 10 hundredths equals 2, or the fraction equation, 2/10 divided by 1/10 equals 2, and you were able to buy two crickets. So you try if you spent $1 on crickets. Do the decimal equation, the fraction equation, and then the number of crickets you could buy. Try that out now. Okay, so your decimal equation should be 1 divided by 1/100th equals 10. And your fraction equation should be 10 tenths, because 10 tenths is the same as 1 whole, divided by 1/10 equals 10. So you could buy 10 crickets if you had $1. Now, what if you had $2? Go ahead, try that one now. Okay, that's 2 divided by 10 hundredths equals 20, or 20 tenths, which is the same as 2 wholes, divided by 1/10 equals 20. So you could buy 20 crickets. What if you had $3.30? Try that one out. Okay, that should be 3 and 30 hundredths divided by 10 hundredths equals 33. Fraction form, 33 tenths divided by 1/10 equals 33, and that would be 33 crickets. Finally, let's try $5.20. You can do it. Try it out. Okay, so for your decimal equation, you should have 5 and 20 hundredths divided by 10 hundredths equals 52. So the fraction equation would be 52 tenths divided by 1/10 equals 52. So you could buy 52 crickets. Does anybody remember what this kind of a fraction is called? It's an improper fraction because the numerator is larger than the denominator. So how many whole numbers can we pull out of that? 10 tenths, that's 1 whole. 20 tenths, that's 2. 30 tenths, that's 3. 40 tenths, that's 4. 50 tenths, that's 5, and then we'd have 2 tenths left over. So you can see that right here in this decimal, 5 and 2 tenths, which is the same as 5 and 20 hundredths. Okay, so again, for part of your assignment, what do you notice about dividing by 10 hundredths? Okay, take some time and jot down an answer. What are your thoughts? What do you notice? Go ahead. All right, let's move to our next problem. The post office sells 1-cent stamps. If you spent $2.08, how many 1-cent stamps could you buy? Okay, try to write an expression to match this problem and then solve the problem. Give it a shot. For your expression, you should have 2 and 8 hundredths divided by 1/100th, because a penny is 1 out of 100 that makes the whole. Okay, and your equation, 2 and 8 hundredths divided by 1/100th equals 208 stamps. You could buy 208 stamps with $2.08 if the stamps each cost 1 cent. Okay, so here's our chart. Fill out the table below to show how many stamps you could buy with different amounts of money. The first two are done for you again. So we have the total cost. If you spent 1 penny, you could buy 1 stamp. So the decimal equation is 1/100th divided by 1/100th equals 1. 1/100th divided by 1/100th equals 1. In the fraction equation, you can buy 1 stamp. With 2 cents, that's 2 hundredths divided by 1/100th equals 2 wholes. Fraction equation, 2 hundredths divided by 1/100th equals 2. You could buy 2 stamps. How many stamps could you buy if you had 10 cents? Go ahead, you're going to write the decimal equation, the fraction equation, and then the number of stamps that you could buy. Try it out now. Okay, so you should have for your decimal equation 10 hundredths divided by 1 hundredth equals 10. And for your fraction equation, 10 hundredths divided by 1 hundredth equals 10. You could buy 10 stamps if you had 10 cents. Now what about if you had 40 cents? Go ahead, write it down. Here's your decimal equation. 40 hundredths divided by 1 hundredth equals 40. Fraction equation, 40 hundredths divided by 1 hundredth equals 40. So you could buy 40 stamps. How about if you had 86 cents? Try it now. Let's check it out. 86 hundredths divided by 1 hundredth equals 86. Or, for the fraction equation, 86 hundredths divided by 1 hundredth equals 86. So that's 86 stamps you can buy if you had 86 cents. Okay, a little more challenging. How about if you had $2.47? How many 1-cent stamps could you buy? Make sure you do the decimal equation, the fraction equation, and then the number of stamps. Go ahead. Okay, here's your decimal equation. 2 and 47 hundredths divided by 1 hundredth equals 247. The fraction equation, 247 hundredths, there's an improper fraction again, divided by 1 hundredth equals 247. So you could buy 247 stamps if you had $2.47. Final one, how about if you had $3.05? Go ahead, try it out now. Okay, here is the decimal equation. 3 and 5 hundredths divided by 1 hundredth equals 305. Or the fraction equation, 305 hundredths, again an improper fraction, so that's more than 1, divided by 1 hundredth equals 305, so you could buy 305 stamps. Awesome, how did you guys do? Okay, so for another part of your assignment, what do you notice about dividing by 1 hundredth? Go ahead and jot down an answer, and that will be part of your assignment. Do that now. So you've already done 3 reflection problems for your assignment. Now you have 3 more problems to do. So that's 6 total to turn into your teacher, which you need to make sure to communicate on how they want you to turn this in. So for number 1, it says solve the multiplication problems below. Number 2, solve the division problems below. And then number 3, what patterns do you notice in the equations you completed above? Okay, I'm going to give you some time to copy these problems down right now. Go ahead. Great job today. I've really enjoyed doing some mathematics with you. Thank you for joining me as you continue your learning from home. I look forward to seeing you again for our next lesson on KSPS.